One and
Two.
three.
Here we go.
Yeah, you're number three.
I'm a number three. Oh, okay. That's fine. So let's do that. All right.
Good morning
Good
and
morning.
happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's been a little while. We took
Yeah,
some time off.
yeah. It's
Kind of needed.
it's the 5th of January. We needed about this
Wow.
much time to get over the hangover, so or not.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, kind of.
uh okay. We are not going to start this year off by making stupid mistakes.
Okay.
So,
Start
excuse me
over.
while I check the sound.
Excuse me while I check this out.
Let's make sure that we are
I
actually.
know.
And of course, hold on. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait.
I know what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we
There
are.
we go. So we got sound this time.
I was like, "Oh my god, we have no sound." Well, we have no sound because I apparently when I stopped it, when I was checking it earlier to get the link,
Yeah.
I went ahead and paused it, so we were on the part with no sound.
Oh, okay.
God, I love this system. It makes it
Oh,
so much
yeah.
easier. Yeah, we always start the show out with no sound right now, just to get started, let everybody know we're here before
Yeah.
we start jumping right in, and there's that. But here we are,
Here we are.
man.
A new year, a new beginning, a new start. We have some things planned.
Yeah.
Um,
The first show of the year, first show of the month. Trevor's not with us today.
unfortunately,
Yeah, he had a medical appointment that he couldn't miss.
Mhm.
We will get a little bit nerdy today because there's a couple of things to talk about,
Yes.
including a brand new show on Disney Plus.
Yes, which I caught.
You caught it? Good.
I caught it. I was like, I had to. And then I was like, okay, so the Book of Boba Fett
Oh yeah,
streamed its first version.
the new
And
Star
my
Wars.
big problem with it was he died. He got eaten by that ground monster.
Well,
And I thought, how are they going to pull this off? And
they did this. They
I was
explained it
actually-
really well.
I was actually impressed. I was like, okay. I was like, is it believable? But yeah,
Oh yeah.
I was impressed with it.
Oh yeah. And that actor is just
He is
amazing.
really good.
He's been doing a Star Wars
He was
maybe more consistently longer than anybody ever.
probably, but the thing is, and there was another. If you get a chance to see it on Disney, there's also another something that they put out. It was Becoming Boba Fett, or basically talking about it, and they talked about how Boba Fett was a very, very minimal character. He only had 4 lines.
Well, do you remember where Boba Fett first appeared?
He first appeared
horrible
in the Star Wars scene where they had the bounty hunters.
Nope.
Which one?
Nope. He appeared before that.
Really? Because that's what I noticed.
He was in an animated feature in a little special called the Star Wars Christmas special.
Right. That's right. I never got to see that, but that's right. I forgot about that.
Horrible.
Yeah. But okay.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw him, because I missed that special because I don't know what happened, but I remember hearing about that. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah.
Because
and this particular actor. This is not the guy that played Boba Fett originally in the movies.
No.
His first role was actually playing Jango Fett. This is I had to look up his name because I can never remember it. Tamara Morrison.
Yeah.
Great actor. He's done some amazing movies, and he played Boba Fett and Jango Fett in the original Star Wars movies, and the animated stuff. He played some of the clone troopers.
Yeah.
He's just got that voice.
Yeah, that voice of his is just, it fits.
Yeah.
So well.
Video games, he's played Boba Fett like crazy, and this is another show like The Mandalorian. It's very much a Western.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's good. It's really good, and I love that guy. He played so many badass characters.
Yeah.
Early in his career, and he's the nicest guy in the world.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, he's your typical New Zealander.
Okay.
Just a really nice guy. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. So yeah,
cool. Now when you say he's a New Zealander, that totally fits, because I'm saying, God, the guy is a tough guy. Because go on YouTube and look up the All Blacks, the rugby team, when they do their pregame haka.
Yeah, that's a Maori thing.
That'll
that they do.
give you chills, man. I watched 100 of those. For a while I was obsessed with it. I was watching them all the time. There's a video that I saved because I want to learn it. It
Oh
is
yeah,
serious.
do that before you get up on stage to perform.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. I'll laugh my butt because there was a video that I saw that there was some plaza, a shopping plaza, and they did of one of those flash mobs, but they just broke out into a haka. Apparently, there were only 8 guys that were part of this, the plan, but there were a whole bunch of people that joined in, and there were a good 30 to 40 people doing this haka, and it's like amazing.
Oh yeah.
And there's a video of a family, a wedding, and the bride is Maori, and so her brothers were doing a haka, and then all of a sudden her new husband, who's a white guy, joined in. Apparently he learned it for that, and it was like it had everybody was in tears because this is a really, really serious thing.
Oh yeah.
And if you have a chance to watch it, pull up New Zealand haka, and it's just an amazing, it'll give you chills.
Yeah, they have really as a nation they've really come into the public eye, not for quite a while now. It's one of the best places in the world to film movies.
It is amazing
because you've got beautiful scenery, and it changes all over the country.
A lot of the Lord of the Rings was filmed out there.
Yes,
most of it was filmed out there.
Xena Warrior Princess, Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. It's a little expensive for them to get there, but once they're there, man, they've got everything they need in one place.
Well, you got to look at it also. It's like, okay, where's the cost balance? I mean, they can either spend a lot of money to build that here, create it here, or go out there and do it.
Yeah,
where it's already perfect.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah, that's
for sure.
It's good, but yeah, the Book of Boba Fett. I saw one episode already, and I'm hooked. I'm already hooked. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm so impressed with the show. And by the way, just so you know, as of this morning, episode 2 is out.
I didn't know that.
Every Wednesday.
Okay.
So
every Wednesday, I gotta remember that.
I don't want to tell you how far into it I am already.
Oh,
it's so good. I just love this actor, and yeah, they've done some makeup on him to age him. But he's
also weathered because of some of the things he's gone through, and they're flashing back. It's the way they're doing it is, of course, whoever.
Oh yeah,
they're doing it right.
Oh yeah,
they're doing it right.
It really is good.
And
for fans of Mandalorian who watch the show mainly for, I don't care what his name is, he's Baby Yoda. There is rumor about
that he's
some
going to make an appearance,
cameo with him. Possibly a cameo with the new Luke Skywalker.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's pretty well a done deal at this point, and I'm happy with who they've chosen.
Oh okay.
So it looks like it's going to be Sebastian Stan playing Luke Skywalker, and he's got enough of a look that it's going to be cool, and he's such a huge fan that he basically said at one point the only way I would play the role is if Mark Hamill said it was okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah,
that's really cool.
And Sebastian Stan, if the name doesn't sound familiar, he's from the Marvel franchise. He plays the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
done a bunch of other roles as well, but that's what he's known for.
Yeah,
and
I
think it's going to be cool.
Another Disney Plus. I've been watching it. It's hard to watch sometimes because some people think it's very boring. Is Get Back, the Beatles. The footage of the Beatles.
You've got to be into that.
You got to be into it because basically it's listening to them sitting around getting ready for a concert, writing songs. But I just got to the point I had to pause it because then my granddaughter comes in and starts making noise and I can't listen. But where George Harrison decided to leave.
Yeah.
He just said, you could tell he was a little frustrated with some of the songwriting process, and all of a sudden he just says, "I think it's time for me to leave."
Well, before they released this, they released a special retrospective album for the Beatles.
Yeah,
and it had a bunch of the sound recordings put in of them in the studio and alternate versions of songs, and that was amazing.
Yeah,
to have it in video as well, it just takes it over the top.
There were parts where you can see how much fun they were having. But then it got to me, the uncomfortable part was that Yoko Ono was like at John's hip the entire time. And it's like, and then they had when George finally left, it's neat. There was a conversation between John and John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and they were basically saying, "Yeah, we screwed up. We cut him out. We needed to be more. They were saying it. We get it."
Yeah.
And so I had to stop. But it's also just interesting to watch. Why is Yoko Ono there the entire time? She's there all the time. And it's like, and then they went, after George left, apparently the three of them decided to go to Ringo's house and have a conversation with George Harrison. Now, Ringo's wife was there, but Yoko was there too.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? It should have been the four of them in a room by themselves, just them. Why was this? It's like you start to see what happened.
And it's a dynamic you see a lot of bands enforce to this day.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're my wife, you're my girlfriend, you're not a member of the band.
Right.
And put that line up. And that's why. That got ugly. And there were a lot of other issues involved there.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just one thing, and I think they were coming to the end of their run anyway.
Oh yeah, you could tell together. that they're not struggling. There were times where they were having so much fun, but then there are also times where you notice they're tired.
Yeah, it's a lot of years to do the same thing.
And then with all the things that they had to go through, because for a while they were isolated.
Oh yeah,
the four of them were isolated together. So yeah. But anyway, I got into that, and I'm still going through those episodes. I just, when you turn it on, you have a 5-year-old in the house. It's kind of hard.
Oh man! Well, since we are starting the new year, since there's only 2 of us, you know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
As you pick up your pick, I think we need some music, and I
have not played much in the last 2 weeks or so.
I hope you're not going to change your page.
No,
because I really want to hear you do this. I discovered this song a couple of weeks ago, and I love this song.
Yeah, I've been doing this song for how long? For a while now. But yeah. Ooh, I've been stacking up the years I spent trading punches with the enemy. Ooh, built myself a double thick stone tower, lies higher than the eye can see. Trapped in my flesh and bone, crying out to you, Lord, I'm desperate. Lord, come rattle this cage and set me free. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, come down. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, oh Lord. My prison turns to ruin when your love moves in. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, come down, come down. Ooh, truth is cracking through the pride and the blame, cutting straight to the heart of me. Ooh, long before I ever called your name, you were fighting for my victory. Carved in your flesh and bone, the wounds that have set my soul's forgiven. Oh, now I can feel the darkness trembling. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, come down. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, oh Lord. My prison turns to ruin when your love moves in. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, come down, come down. Rebuild me from the ground up. All I wanna see is you. Terrify the lies with truth. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, come down. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, oh Lord. My prison turns to ruin when your love moves in. All of my fears like Jericho walls gotta come down, come down, come down. All of my fears gotta come down. Jericho walls gotta come down, come down, come down.
God, I love that.
Yeah. That's a fun song, man.
It is.
That one's fun. Yeah, I heard that one a while ago, and my wife was like in her office, and I was in and she screamed out and said, come here, and started the song over and listened. I'm like, okay, I got to get that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just heard from a friend of mine.
Okay.
So she says, I'm down for the nerd speak. Says, hopefully you'll play something today.
Yes, your turn.
I don't think she's heard me play anything ever. So yeah, there's that. And I could start off with something that I know pretty well. But what's the fun in that?
Jump in. You were doing one earlier that we were just kind of chatting.
I love this song, and I'm right now just learning it. The original recording, the original writing of the song was written by a woman that she brought it up a bit. Well, it was in a movie called Country Strong, and the guy that sang it, he had a baritone voice, so they lowered it down. Yeah, the instructions on what I found said to put the capo on the 4th fret. I was like, no, no. I tried it and I was like, ugh, this is. I have nothing against ukulele. No. Your guitar should not sound like a ukulele.
It's like I have one song. I have a couple songs that go to the 3rd fret, but man, that's as far as I'll go.
Yeah.
I will not, because it just sounds. You're right. It sound that's the way to describe it. It sounds like a ukulele if you go anywhere above the 3rd fret. Now,
there's one exception to that, and it's a song I've never played, and I don't know if I'll ever play or sing it in public, but I play with it every once in a while. Free Fallin' by Tom Petty.
Oh, okay.
You know, you have to put the capo on that to make it sound like the original recording.
Really high.
12th fret.
12th fret.
12th fret. It's insane. And it's why it sounds okay with just a guitar. You've got to really have the whole band behind you to make it work, because it's high.
Oh man.
And I think it's one of the highest songs he ever sang, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this one. Okay. Timing is everything. I love this song. Cool. I don't know if I may screw it up because I'm learning a new chord with it. God, I love the sound of this thing. This C add 9 is just very cool.
It's a great chord.
And I've actually pulled up a couple of songs with it. I'm trying not to get too junky on any chord because it's real easy to just want to put in everything.
Oh yeah.
But I just love this thing. When the stars line up and you catch a good break, and people think you're lucky, but you know it's grace. It can happen so fast or a little too late. Timing is everything. You know, I had close calls when it could have been me. I was young when I learned just how fragile life could be. I lost friends of mine. Guess it wasn't my time. Timing is everything. And I could have been a child that God took home, and I would have been one more unfinished song. And when it seems a rhyme is hard to find, that's when one comes along just in time. Well, I remember that day when our eyes first met. You ran into the building to get out of the rain, 'cause you were soaking wet. And as I held the door, you wanted to know my name. Timing is everything. And I could have been another minute late, and you never would have crossed my path that day. And when it seems true love is hard to find, that's when love comes along just in time. Well, you can call it fate or destiny. Sometimes it really feels like it's a mystery. You can be hurt by love or healed by the same. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Timing is everything.
That is a cool tune.
Isn't
That
it?
is cool.
And I discovered that C-Ed 9 and going from a G to a C-Ed 9
really
is
easy.
so simple and so close, and it's just pretty.
Yeah.
And it's such a pretty song. It's such a melancholy song, especially melancholy if you watch the movie. Oh my God.
Oh man,
love the movie. Not a happy ending. So I mean, it kind of is and kind of isn't.
Yeah.
There's some real heartbreak in that. The whole movie is like a country song. So, yeah. But that didn't go too bad.
That's good.
I love that song. Yeah. And I kind of got excited about the fact that I could actually play it.
That's really cool. It's nice when you get to the point where you start pulling up songs and you're able to pick it up. And yeah, that shows how hard you've been working at it.
Yeah. there's no doubt on that. Yeah, my calluses are testament to that.
Mine, I haven't played much, and mine started to hurt after that. After that, towards the end, it's like, wow, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But so there was, I'm from California. I'm from Southern California. There were a lot of celebrities around. I've never been a starstruck kind of person. So when I hear about celebrities passing, yeah, it's sad. But recently we had one on New Year's Eve. Betty White passed away.
Yes.
And I don't know why, but that one really affected me. Because this was a genuine golden person. I mean, she was one of the Golden Girls, and you see all kinds of stuff. Because I remember her. I remember seeing the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and she played that really. She was. I couldn't stand her because she was so arrogant and so bitchy. And then she comes up again in the Golden Girls and was like, and there were times where I've seen her in different variety shows and stuff like that. She's a very, very talented individual. I mean,
she's the only person in the world who has ever had 3 different shows titled The Betty White Show.
White Show. And they were 3 completely different styles of shows.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing to reminisce about that, and just that one affected me because it's just like wanted her to live forever.
Oh yeah. Well, and she was 17 days short of turning 100.
Yeah, 99. And then I remember it was there was her 90th birthday celebration, and then the following year the first annual the second annual 90th birthday celebration. She had like 5 of them. They kept saying like the 5th annual 90th birthday for Betty White. She was great. It was fun.
Oh, she was a blast.
Oh yeah.
And she's played all sorts of different roles. I was watching some retrospectives back on her career.
Yeah.
You do know that for the Golden Girls, her and Reba McClanahan, they weren't originally playing the roles that they played. No. They switched roles to be in where they were.
Because she Betty White, Reba McClanahan also, because she said she didn't want to play she didn't think she could pull it off.
Well, she'd already done it.
Yeah. And
she'd done it on Mama's Family.
Right. And then Betty White had already done the Blanche character as Sue Ann, and said that's too close to Sue Ann. They're just gonna, but Betty wanted to play Rose because she thought it'd be more fun. And oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
She pulled that off brilliantly. She was amazing.
Oh yeah.
We still do that. We've been doing it for years. We'll just like pull up Hulu has it. Golden Girls, start episode 1 and just watch we've watched the entire series like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And we still laugh at some of this, and we still have our favorite parts that we could recite, and we still laugh out loud about it. So
it's not a show I can get into because I was kind of burned out with it with my ex.
Yeah.
But
we watched it. I had a roommate once that was I was 28 and she was, I still don't know how old she was, but she was in her early 50s, and she used to watch it saying, "I'm getting ready."
Well, she was something else. She did whatever she wanted to.
Yeah.
I still remember she did a tribute show to Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
And she sat and did a dramatic reading of UNITY.
Yeah, that was just. I remember seeing that years ago. I was like, okay.
I was like,
this
that's
was
just
adorable.
That may be the most awesome thing ever. But yeah, she would do the coolest stuff.
Yeah, and she was just fun. Every time you saw her, it was fun.
Check this.
I'm so high.
We'll see if.
I always come out on top. I'm ready from the front. I lock my Emmys in my beatbox. Beatbox. Harder than hard. Flashing the cash in the cars. Yes, he's a rock star. And guess what? I'm so hot. From London town to LA. I shake it all the way. But I rock your world with my cheesecake. I'm so hot. I will get you sweaty. Close like a Big Betty. I can do whatever. Guess what? I'm so hot. I will get you sweaty.
Betty White singing with Luciana.
That's funny.
I'm Still Hot, which became this huge hit again for her.
It was funny. We watched the Hot in Cleveland series, and her character was Elka, and Elka was hilarious. It was it was funny because there were times where she was a combination of all four of the Golden Girls. It was Sophia with the Dorothy sass and strength, and she was a combination of all. And we were sitting there watching her, and she was just amazing.
Oh yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah, and she wasn't supposed to be a regular.
No,
she was supposed to be in the first episode only,
and that was it.
And they just fell in love with her. And yeah, I was watching bloopers the other day from the show.
Oh my god!
And apparently, she started this thing on the show where if they talk over somebody's lines, she's supposed to go first, and just before they'd start rolling, she turned them and say, "Bitch."
Exactly, and then I saw one.
What a way to screw you up!
You hear Betty White go, "Bitch." That was funny. And then then there was one part where Valley Bertinelli goes, "All right, bitch," and Betty White. I thought she was gonna pass out. She laughed so hard.
Oh yeah,
she was. It was just they had them all cracking up. And then there's just certain lines that she just over and over had to do it because it kept laughing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, watching one of those shows must have been one long.
Mm-hmm.
To be in the audience must have been long and a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Well, she always had just a great attitude and just the nicest person in the world. Well, the nicest person in the world unless you crossed her.
Oh, that's one story about. I remember hearing there was somebody that I don't know what happened, but boy, I'll tell you, they never did that again.
Well, one of the things that happened was she had on one of her early shows. She had a black singer that would come on the show. She loved him. He was great, and they asked her to remove him from the show because there were stations in the South that were threatening to boycott the show.
Right.
And her response to it was, "Oh, if you don't like it, we'll just live with it."
Yes.
The quote was "live with it." And then she put him on more.
She and that guy, there was they showed an interview with him that because of that, it springboarded him, and he was in all kinds of movies and other shows, and he did a lot of things because of that show.
Oh,
and yeah, she was like, "Yeah, live with it." And I don't know if that was the part of the demise of the show, but she didn't care.
Yeah,
she would rather go down in flames doing what she wanted rather than have somebody tell her how to keep her show going. And she was not going to do that. And
right.
I just love that.
It was the coolest thing
because that guy was good. Man, he was good. It had nothing to do with it. For her, it was all about he was a very, very talented individual, and that's what she wanted on there. That's all that mattered.
Yeah. So
okay,
we do have some news locally here.
Okay,
we have a business that I thought was gone forever. I've lamented on this show, and they're back.
Okay,
they're back. La Fiesta Bakery, is reopened, sort of.
Okay,
a little bit at a time. They are apparently working towards a full opening. Right now, they're open 3 days a week.
Okay.
You have to place an order the day before, and they stop taking orders at 2 p.m. and they're open. I believe it's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Otherwise, if it wasn't 9 a.m. that they were open, because we start the show at 8.
Yeah.
They open in about 20 minutes. if they were opening at their normal time of 6, they used
Yeah.
to, we'd have empanadas here this morning.
Yeah, that was a business that was the demise of the lousy planning of the construction.
Yeah, it basically killed them off.
Yeah.
They went through their savings to keep the business open. They had resurgences of people coming in to support them. The community really got behind them, but it was just not enough.
Yeah.
But they are back. Like I
That
say,
is
it's shortened
wonderful.
hours. They're open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays right now. Limited menu. Unfortunately, they don't have their donuts yet, but they've got empanadas, apple, pineapple, lemon, Bavarian cream, which they never had before, I don't think. Apricot and raspberry. They're $2 each. They've had to raise their prices just a little.
Everybody has.
Yeah. They're doing raspberry elotes for $2, almond conos for $1.50. Yeah, I'm going through their menu because I want you guys to know that they're there and support them.
That's not real high though.
No, Magdalenas are $1.50. Of course, they're doing Maranitos. You can't have a Mexican style bakery in this town and not do Maranitos.
It's a law.
For those of you who don't know, it's little pig cookies. They're very cool. They're $1.50 each. And pan de huevo, they're doing pink, yellow, white, and brown, $1.50 each. Danishes for $3. Apple, pineapple, lemon, raspberry, and apricot. Bear claws for $3. Their bear claws are awesome and huge. They're doing their bolillos, large and small. Their cookies, they're doing their bizcochos, their wedding cookies, and their butter cookies. All are $6 a dozen. Croissants are doing plain cream cheese, strawberry, and blueberry, all for $3. I don't do cream cheese, so I can't do that. They're also started doing, of course, with it being the new year, they got a special right now, King's Cake and Rosco de Reyes. If King's Cake is more, I guess, Caucasian, the Rosca is it's a Catholic thing.
You got to describe it a little bit more than that because I'm lost.
It's a little round. It's a big round cake with a plastic Jesus inside it, like this. If you get the plastic Jesus, you have to host a party. You want to be careful chewing that cake because you'll hurt yourself. And I've threatened before to if I get the baby Jesus, I can't afford to pay to throw a party right now. I'm just gonna swallow the thing. You'll never know. I don't think that I could actually do that, but they're doing the Rosca cakes, the King's cakes.
Wow.
If you want to place an order with them, of course, if you go onto Facebook, their Facebook presence is up again. La Fiesta Bakery.
Yeah.
I believe it's lafiestabakery.com is their website, and their phone number, area code 575-647-5800. And they're taking orders until 2 for the day before.
When I worked at a network services company, we had meetings every Friday, and there was a guy who would drive halfway across town to go over there to get donuts for the meeting.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was that's great.
I had to block out some time when I would do it for my job. We'd take turns, and it was my turn to go get the pastries. I had to take my time because they knew me as a writer for the paper. And I'd always get stopped, usually by him, to find out, he wanted to talk about what the article was. And then of course I got involved when Gina, his wife, ran for mayor. And amazing lady. I had her on my political show at the time, which is starting very soon for those of you who are asking. Thank you. I've had some people that have asked.
Oh, good.
And yeah, that's going to be starting like in the next few days.
Oh, okay.
So I figured with the new year, we'll start everything fresh.
Very cool.
And kind of hit it up. I've got a new site that I'm on. So I'll be putting links for that stuff up as well. For right now, I will still be broadcasting it live on Spreaker and then moving it over to the new site.
Okay.
It's an up and coming and it's a really good site.
Awesome.
If I could remember the name of it right now, I would let you know. It's one of those things. It's like, what was the name of that? I can look it up real quick too. I know the dispatch is on it, so that makes it a little easier for me to find.
And another local business we talked about a while ago, Corner Deli.
Yes,
they're back up and running, and they're just as good as ever. I can attest to that.
Oh yeah. I'm I'm very impressed that that they're keeping going, because I was not happy with the idea of them being gone.
Yeah, but they reopened, and you walk in, and it looks like they just took some time and cleaned, and it looks the same thing. Same thing, same menu, same everything.
Awesome. Yeah, they have some of the best sandwiches.
Oh, they were great. Yeah, we were sitting around, and I said corner, and my wife said, "Oh, I wish Corner Deli was still open." And I went, they reopened, and she's like, "Well, then get your butt over there."
Oh yeah. Oh, the site that I'm going to be on is called Substack.
Substack, okay.
And yeah, they do things very well, and then they're growing quite a bit pretty quickly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's that. We're getting into that, and that's just my political stuff, which will not be on this station. It will not be on Enchantment Broadcasting, just because I kind of like the vacation from all things political.
Yeah.
We're going to mention a little political today.
A few things.
But yeah, we don't get too much into it. Yeah, there's something that's kind of sticking in my craw that we're going to go into here in a minute.
Okay.
But we've got that going on. Yeah. We have a new show that we're going to start.
Yes.
We don't have a name for it yet, because names suck.
Yeah.
Names are hard. But basically, it's a show I wanted to do, but I could not, in good conscience, see myself doing this show and sitting back and not bringing it myself. And I could not bring it before now. Now I'm at a level that I feel confident enough that we can do this.
Yeah.
So we're going to be hosting the show together as well. We're both going to be sitting there with our guitars.
Yep.
We're going to have 2 other musicians in the area, 2 actual,
real
playing and doing stuff musicians. And we're going to chit chat a little bit, but we're going to play a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more playing, less talking, a little bit of fun, just kind of the personal side of a musician. Asking I like to ask questions, but instead of saying like, "Hey, what song?" Like, one of the things is, "What song do you have?" Like, for me, what song do you have to play every time you go out to play? What song do you have to play? Otherwise, it doesn't feel right. And make them and have them play the song. Yeah, that kind of thing. What song inspired you? Play the song. Things like that, and it's going to be a lot of that, and it's going to be. It was when he came up with the idea of it. My thought was, I don't even care if anybody watches. I just want to do this show. This will be fun.
Oh yeah,
because we already have 2 people lined up.
The first show, and it'll probably be out at the beginning of February. Basically, it's going to be pre-recorded so that we can do some editing, have different camera angles. So it's going to be Damian Luna, who we've had on the show recently, and my guitar instructor as well, and Daisy Blue,
our dear friend Daisy Blue. And the other idea is to get musicians of different styles. And different backgrounds, because I already have an idea who would need to do the following, because I think this is going to be like a once a month thing.
I think it'll be basically once a month. We may pre-record, like do a couple in a single month, so we have something to fall back on. But because this actually took a little more juggling back and forth to get everybody on the same page than I thought.
Plus schedules are hard to get a hold of, but we got it. We got a date, and we're hoping to get. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
And I told Damian, says, bring your guitar, but also bring your cajon.
Yeah,
because that'll be actually 2 cajons we have in here at that time.
Right.
I'm going to bring mine that I pulled out,
because we can just kind of throw stuff together, and you never know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
it'll be really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of fun, kind of laid back, and a lot more just messing around musically, which I've never gotten to see on any sort of a show before, and I think it's a cool thing. I've gotten to experience it recently, and it's fun.
There was a show, a movie or something, a special. I think it was, I can't remember. It was called "It Might Get Loud," and it had Jack White, Jimmy Page, and The Edge. And they just sat around and talked about, you have that one, how did you come up with Kashmir? And then he'd start playing it, and then they would join and they would learn it too and just start messing around. And that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was really cool to watch. Just musicians have fun, and just, you could see that side of them that, you see them up on stage and they're doing their thing.
They're doing it. That's their job.
Yeah. Because some of them, that's their income. But then there's that side of them where they just love doing what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you want to see.
And that took me a little bit to understand myself.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to play with anybody because I figured they were just kind of being nice to me and it was a charity thing.
Yeah.
And when I realized they were having fun with it too, it changed everything a lot.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
then when
this is going to be a fun show. I
It's
think.
going to be I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
it. It's going to be a blast.
And of course, this show we're stepping it up
Yeah.
with guests,
Yes.
including next week. You won't want to miss because it's going to be cool. This room will get emptied out because it's too cold to go outside yet.
Yeah.
Although we'll be able to do that very soon.
Yeah.
I'm getting a cover put on my outdoor gazebo thing, so we'll be able to do some outdoor stuff once it gets
Yeah.
warmer. But yeah, we're gonna pull stuff out of here because we're gonna have our first band.
Yeah.
Freeway Jam is gonna come on, and if you haven't heard of them, join the club.
Yeah.
They, as far as I know, they have played publicly
One
once.
time, and that was at an open mic.
Yeah.
At Amaro, open mic at Amaro. They were in the garage
Mhm.
having fun, and then they decided to go play at open mic, and they played like 3 or 4 songs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They were great.
They're
It was
amazing. They don't have a lead singer. They just play instrumentals,
Yeah.
but they play instrumentals like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I've never heard anybody play Jeff Beck before.
Yeah.
For something like that, and they
And this guy gets
rocked
up
it.
there, and I'm sorry, the lead guitar player. I keep saying this, and I hope he doesn't mind when I say it, but he looked like a middle school science teacher. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it? And
He kinda
started
flies under the radar.
playing, and oh my gosh, he's great. He's so
Yeah.
much fun to listen to.
Yeah, I went up to talk to him and realized that I knew the guy. And by the way, when I knew him, his hair was about your length. Now it's all buzzed off.
Yeah.
It's a totally different look, but I was like, oh my god. Yeah, we talked about this before. Yeah, back when I was in high school and right after I graduated for a while, he was my hairdresser. I go to him to get my hair done, and we'd talk about that sort of thing. He'd talk about, yeah, I play guitar, and I was like, oh, whatever. I guess just he made it sound like, oh, just a hobby thing. I
Mhm.
tinker around on the weekends or something.
Yeah,
No, this guy is
Wow.
amazing.
that is
And,
so. I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
funny.
He's amazingly good on lead guitar. He's got a friend that plays bass guitar that he whips that bass.
Yeah.
And then his nephew is playing drums for him, and definitely, I would say one of the top 2 drummers in town that I've heard.
Yeah.
Him and Red Whiting are right up there.
Red Whiting is in a level of his own.
Yeah. This kid is
Yeah,
just
but
so
yeah,
good
he
right
was
off the
very
bat.
good, yeah.
So yeah, he'll bring a cut down drum
Yeah.
set. We'll have them in here, and
Cool.
we'll see how it goes. But I
That'd
think
be
it's going to be
great.
a lot of fun,
That'll be great.
and that'll be a first. We're going to step that
Yeah,
up. We're going
step
to
it
get
up,
some more
like-
businesses in.
That's another thing we want to do. I have a friend who is a hairdresser that
Mhm.
I want to bring in pretty soon. She's a great lady that I met, and we're both doing kind of similar ways we're doing it. She has her own studio that she works out of, and it's
Mhm.
really cool. And we're not afraid to express our faith. I mean, the name of her business is Salt and Light.
Mhm.
And it's like,
Hey.
wow, it sparks conversation. So
It works.
so yeah, so it'd be good. We're going to be doing more of that businesses, and we're hoping to get what's his name from Rio Grande Winery. We're
Oh,
hoping
yeah.
to get him in to talk
Yeah,
about.
I've been talking to
they
him.
made some
So.
changes, and
It's
they-
gorgeous over there.
they made a lot of changes up to now it's they're outdoor. I don't know if they're still doing outdoor for right now, but when
Mm-hmm.
it gets warmed up again, they're going to hit the ground running, and that's going to be. I cannot wait to get out there. I have
Yeah.
not been out there, but everything I've heard. Has
Yeah, they've got
been
nothing
fantastic.
going on this week really.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. They do. They've got, and of course their stage is outside, so all their stuff is outdoors. They've added some outdoor heaters that make
Mhm.
things nice. They've got the fire pits out in the middle
Oh.
that are cool. So yeah, they're doing their thing.
That'll be neat.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny. We hit like I got up yesterday and left to my studio, and it was like 24 degrees.
It's bad. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but then all of a sudden I get home. I'm leaving. I left at about 7 o'clock, and last night, and it was 60.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I'm like, I kind of like this place.
Oh, it's definitely cool that way. We'll also probably end up with a guest on that I didn't expect, but she went and talked to me. I have a new friend. I've met her in person twice now, is all. Another one of Damian's students. Her name is
Oh.
Christy. She was out at the
Oh,
recital.
yes. Okay, and she is oh God,
And she's really good.
very good and a neat lady. And she's also beauty industry.
Mhm.
So hopefully I'll be working with her.
Yeah.
Because we've had a short conversation about her coming to work with me. But yeah, great. And some of the other students, it would be neat to get some of them on there. That would
actually,
be
we're
fun.
talking about some stuff, but
yeah,
she actually was talking to me. I ran into her at open mic at Little Toad a couple weeks back, and she was like, "Yeah, says this past week says I learned a new song. It's not that difficult. Understand she does finger picking. She doesn't do strumming like we do."
Yeah, I tried it.
I says, "Well, what song is it?" "Blackbird" by the Beatles. Yeah. I told her, says, "Yeah, that's
oh, she's
not
one
easy."
of those. Okay, fine.
And it takes her about a week, and she's got a song down.
That's
so
cool. That's very cool.
We're going to be a little bit jealous of her, but
No,
she's
brilliant.
awesome. I think
Very
it'll be
good.
cool. She actually was the one. She says, "I'd like to come on your show." I was like, "Really?"
Let's do it.
Considering the fact of how she was not comfortable with the idea of playing in public the first time. Yeah,
let's just say scared.
So she's a blast, and she's so much fun.
She was fun, and her little boy was so adorable.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we'll probably get her on. We're gonna get some more of the local artists and some artists that you've probably never heard before, because we've got new artists here in town.
There's a lot of new people coming in into town. It's like it's gonna be this coming spring summer is gonna be very, very busy.
Oh yeah, and one of them that's new that I would love to get on the show. I need to get a hold of him. Is a new artist. Well, he's not a new artist. He's a new artist to Las Cruces. He just moved down here recently from Albuquerque. Is Taylor Paul. It's pretty clear that he's been classically trained with the way he plays, and because he plays beautifully, precisely, and then he starts doing rock, and he just brings it.
That's cool.
Taylor Paul, and actually this for a segue into what's going on in the area. I've got his dates listed up here. He's going to be playing the Icebox on the 8th. That's Friday, 6 to 9. And that's the Icebox over on Picacho. On the 15th, he's going to be playing Milton's Brewing, and we're going to get into more of that stuff as it gets closer. On the 28th, he's going to be at NM Vintage playing with the Cast Outs, one of Damian Luna's bands.
Cool.
So they're going to be out there. And then on the 29th, he's going to be at 575 Brewing.
Oh,
I have never been into 575. I think that's a place I need to check out.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance to hear Taylor, he's really good. He's another guy using a slightly different name than his real name, which drives me crazy. But hey, we'll get over it.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit nuts. Some of the other stuff going on in this area. This just came up. I didn't even notice it before, but I just got to say, Dustin Lynch is going to be performing at Inn of the Mountain Gods on March 19th. Dustin Lynch, who is my cousin. He's got multiple albums, and part of that is true and part of it isn't. Can you guess which part isn't true? Yeah, we're not related.
Okay.
But yes, people hear the last name and says, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin," and people are like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll go with it a little bit." This Friday at NM Vintage, they're going to be doing a special thing. It is, and I've heard some of the songs that one of the artists has been preparing. They are doing a Dave Matthews tribute night.
Oh, wow.
Not easy songs, period.
Okay.
Chris Baker, Adrian Batista, Ricky Luna, and Dallas David Ochoa are all going to be playing out there. And that's going to be starting at 7:30. Wow.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I got to hear Ricky Luna playing Satellite. Oh, my God. That is not an easy song. I was watching his fingers. I was waiting for his fingers to cramp up. You're just moving constantly. But yeah, that's going to be Friday at NM Vintage. Here we go. So this Friday at Rio Grande Winery, Ted Scanlon and the Desperados are coming back, and that'll be Friday at 5. Oh, they're getting all their stuff up. Good. Oh. I was afraid I was going to have to go through my other listing. This makes it so much easier.
Oh, good.
So Ed Camden is going to be playing this Sunday at 2 at Rio Grande Winery. And this Saturday at 5, I've got to check her out one of these days. I've got to get some free time to get up there. Jessica Flores is going to be playing at Rio Grande.
Oh, okay.
She's out of El Paso. She's got a huge following, and I've heard some of her stuff. She's really, really good. A great vocalist.
That's cool.
So definitely something to check out there. The Cast Outs are going to be playing with Jason Chaffee this Friday at 7:30 at Little Toad Creek.
Oh, okay.
So that's something to check out. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, the Boneyard Cantina is going to be doing their trivia night. They're getting that going up again. So that'll be tomorrow, Thursday at 7 p.m. Unfortunately, at the same time as open mic at Little Toad Creek, but they start 8 until 11 for open mic over there.
Yeah,
and I hit them fairly frequently. I was told the last time I was there that the next time I'm in, I have to try their rums. They have 2 different rums that they're selling now.
I'm in.
They've got their tequila. They've also got a spiced rum and a silver rum. And I was like, yeah, I'll give that a shot any day. Yeah, that's my drink of choice.
I'll tell you, their tequila is good. I tried it at Amaro, and it was good.
Mm-hmm. And if you get out for the open mic, it's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's crowded early on at about 8, but if there's not a place to sit, there's places to stand up against a wall with people, and eventually tables open up.
Yeah.
And the last time I was up there, no places to sit, and I basically ended up sharing a table with this girl that. We didn't know each other. We started talking, and she noticed my guitar. She asked me if I was going to be playing. I says, yeah, I'm going to be up playing. And she says, well, I play guitar too, and I just want to check it out. I've never been to an open mic, but maybe I'll play one of these days. And I was like, okay. And I told her, I says, if you want to play tonight, you can borrow my guitar. Yeah. She just moved down here from Albuquerque as well. She just started school, and named Sabrina. She's a really, really nice girl. I hope that she gets up and plays soon, because I want to hear that.
Cool.
And yeah, basically, I got to be on the other side of this community that embraces new artists.
Yeah.
I got to be the one to sit there and talk to her and make her feel comfortable. I gave her my number. I says, you come out and decide you want to play at open mic. If I'm not here, you call me or text me. It says, I will be there. And if nothing else, you'll know you have at least one fan in the crowd. Yeah. So, yeah.
Just play. You'll make it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's what open mic is all about.
This Saturday at noon, if you make it out to, and I suggest you do it, Sparky's.
Oh.
In Hatch.
Yes.
Chris Smith is going to be playing out there.
Okay.
CL Smith.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's always a blast. And I think, Daniel Sanchez is playing this Friday at 7 at Pecan Grill.
Very cool.
I think Pecan Grill is starting to bring back some more regular music, which will be nice.
That'll be good.
Maybe they'll end up starting up their open mic as well.
Yeah.
Because theirs used to be the premier open mic for the area. I never actually went to it, but I know that it was the main thing to go to. Also, Little Toad Creek Brewery this Saturday at 8. They're going to be doing their drag queen downtown.
Oh.
It's the second Saturday of every month. Okay. And of course, Ivana Bump is going to be hosting as usual. Mm-hmm. And I have to mention that because I just love saying that name, because that's just the coolest name in the world. And yeah, I think I named everything that's going on.
Very cool.
I'm seeing some open mics that are opening up in El Paso again. That's kind of nice. I was disappointed when I went to visit with my sister in Austin at the lack of open mics that were going on at the time. A lot of the open mics that used to be just regular open mics had become poetry slam nights, slam poetry nights. And so basically it was for poets only. And I was like, oh, well, my stuff doesn't work that well like that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But hey, it's 9:00.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for some more music.
Okay.
We've I know we got one listener that likes the music, and quite frankly, I kind of want to show off for her too a little bit too. So
you want to go first?
I could.
Go ahead.
Let me pull up my song, because I know which one I want to play.
Yeah, because I have no idea. So go ahead.
If I can get this thing to work right. Come on. Yeah. So I'm still getting comfortable with this song, but I love this song. And I played this at the recital that my guitar teacher put on. And I got chewed out by my dad 2 days later he was mad at me because the next day, throughout the entire day, he had this song stuck in his head. And I'm like, you might think that's a bad thing. I think it's a pretty good thing. But no, I know I write a bunch of downer stuff for the most part. It's just where my head is right now. But I wrote the song, I played on the show. I played it for you beforehand, Roulette Radio.
Yeah.
And I love this song.
Do it.
So I don't miss you. That's what I tell my friends. They don't believe me, but they help me to pretend. I can't pull it off, 'cause we all play along until somebody gambles and turns that station on. Roulette Radio, give that dial a spin. Will the music get me through, or break my heart again? Roulette Radio, will I sing along, or hear a melody that reminds me that you're gone? Roulette Radio, when I'm driving, it helps me clear my mind. The rhythm of the highway allows me to unwind. But when I turn it on, I always take a chance. I might be reminded of a failed romance. Roulette Radio, give that dial a spin. Will the music get me through, or break my heart again? Roulette Radio, will I sing along, or hear a melody that reminds me that you're gone? Roulette Radio, don't play Texas Tornado or Back in Baby's Arms. I can't handle true love's ways, or that Marty Stewart song. One day I'll be better, I'll listen to them all, and I won't have to change that dial, and I won't have to fall. Roulette Radio, give that dial a spin. Will the music get me through, or break my heart again? Roulette Radio, will I sing along, or play a melody that reminds me that you're gone? Roulette Radio, Roulette Radio, Roulette Radio,
That's cool. That's a cool tune, man.
I'm so happy with that thing.
That is great.
And by the way, I did get a text earlier from said friend.
Uh-huh.
I actually got a couple of things. First of all, it turns out she has heard me play before on the show. I just didn't realize it, but it's been a bit. But yeah, she commented about the song. She commented that she says that I've progressed a bunch, which I'm glad people notice that.
I noticed your voice is stronger too.
I'm feeling a little more comfortable as I go.
That takes a while.
The first song she did, she says, "And damn it, if you're trying to make me cry this morning, Randy." She also says that she's loving the new show idea. So cool. It's going to be fun.
Great.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it's going to come across. I don't know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we're going to play with it. We're going to play with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll be mainly acoustic. If somebody brings like oh God, if we can get Abby Naira to come in, if she brings her electric Epiphone, I will make an exception for her. Although she plays a mean acoustic guitar too. Somebody's got like an electric piano or something. Of course, we can always make that work. But the whole idea is that it's going to be a lot more laid back. Just a bunch of people hanging out.
And it'll be fun to have people bring their favorite guitar.
Oh yeah.
Or a guitar that, and talk about, because it's not just musicians. There's some musicians that, there's something about, I have a guitar that I keep playing. It is not beautiful. It is not like expensive. It is a guitar that I built from a kit that I absolutely love. To the point where now I'm in the process of building a new one.
Yes, you got a new Christmas present.
A new Christmas present. My wife bought me a kit. It is a semi-hollow body Les Paul style, which is something that we heard a few times being played, and she kept saying, "You got to get one of those."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, well," and it was funny because I kept saying, "All right, after the holidays, after I, get a couple things taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and buy another kit, and I'm going to build another guitar." And sure enough, I end up getting it.
Yeah.
It's in the process right now of the clear coat. I've got it stained the way I wanted to, and because it comes completely natural.
Right. It's just it's
all
raw
the
wood.
Pieces, everything that all the the tuning pegs, the pickups, the wiring, it's all in a bag. And I'm looking at this, and then the last one that I did had access panels on the back to easily get to do all the wiring. Well, with a hollow body, you can't do that.
Right.
So there's video. Thank God there's a lot of videos on YouTube that show me how to. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of it's going to test my patience.
Yes, but it's also going to increase your knowledge rate once you're done. You're going to know so much more about that style of guitar.
It is just like this other guitar, my other Les Paul style. When you look at it from a distance, it looks really nice. But when you get up close, you can see it. It's like you can see the imperfections, you can see the few that, but it's like I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I am actually very proud of that. So
For
not. It's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to getting it finished, because I got the neck painted and doing clear coats on it now, so it's fun. It's just neat to see to have that to do that. For me, it's really means a lot to do that.
Well, I'm just happy that you have it now, because it's been the hardest thing in the world. Every time you've talked about getting a kit,
tell them the story.
I just wanted to give this evil cackle, and I just can't. I've known about this for several months. Your wife was talking to me while you were up on stage playing at an open mic, and she was like, "Can I tell you something and keep it a secret?" I was like, "Yeah," and she told me that. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great." I can definitely keep this a secret. But you were mentioning a few weeks ago, man, you're bringing in so much work, and you got some extra money, and maybe you're gonna look at getting another DIY kit, but I'll probably wait until after the holidays. And I was like, that's probably a good idea.
It's funny because a box came, and I saw the shape of the box, complaining every time she comes into my nail studio about this one polish rack I have that doesn't really fit with the others on the wall. And she goes, "We got to get rid of that thing." Every time she came in, we got to get rid of that thing. I'm like, "Look, it's fine." So I thought, okay, she bought me a new polish rack. No big deal. I said, okay,
good.
So, well, the funny thing is she did, because she gives me a box And I'm like, okay. And I kind of knew what it was. And I opened it up. I'm like, okay, it matches the other one. So I thought nobody's going to notice. I put it up there. I've had 4 clients. All 4 clients noticed it. Wow. Okay. So anyway, she gives me another box and I'm like, oh, great. Another. And I thought it was another polish rack because she wants me to start carrying another polish line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I opened it up and it was the guitar. I was almost in tears. I literally was almost in tears looking at this thing. I was like,
well, it's the only way to catch a guitar guy off guard is to give him a kit, because if you give him a complete guitar, it's obvious.
It's obvious the box is. So I thought it was another polish rack.
Yeah.
I was telling the story to somebody. They said, how could a guitar fit in a box like that? And I said, that's because I have to put it together. And they looked at me like, are you nuts? And I'm like,
you'd be surprised how many seasoned players in this area have never done that.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Like, it seemed like a natural progression for me. I've got parts.
Yeah,
I don't have all my parts yet, but I'm working on. I'm getting instead of getting a kit, I got individual parts, and I'm getting them all separately and getting the stuff that I want. I think that I want, and hopefully I'm right. And then I'm going to put it all together. There's no instructions. There's no anything. I've got the videos.
Yeah, just go on YouTube. There's videos. There's videos of the exact guitar that I have, because the one thing I'm going to need help with is the wiring. I don't have. I looked at the chart and I'm like, but there was one when I did my last guitar. It was awesome because it was a guy that went step by step. So I was able to solder, pause, play, pause, solder, play, pause.
Yes.
I was able to do that, and it worked, and it worked right off the bat.
Yeah,
perfectly. So yeah, it's something that I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I have,
and I know you're going slower with this when they need the last one.
Yeah, I kind of rushed the last one.
Well, you got to enjoy it too.
Oh yeah, I wanted to play that. I want to play this one so bad, but I really want it to look a little bit better than the last one. But, yeah, because that one took me a long time. But I had I tried staining it, but it was a spalted maple top, which looked hideous. It kind of looked like it had flames, and I'm like, I'm gonna be playing this in church. I really don't think I should have flames on my guitar.
No, leave the flames off. Do skulls instead.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this one has a flamed maple top, which is that striped, and it's beautiful, beautiful looking. It turned out really good.
Cool. So. Yeah. I was online looking at some stuff, and it's like, I'm just looking now. I'm so happy with what I have.
I know.
And this Dreadnought especially is so cool. I found some jumbo guitars. I was like, ooh, I could try one of those, but they're even bigger than these. But I'm really happy with the sound. Yeah. I'm addicted to this thing. It's really hard for me to play any other guitar right now because it's so much fun. I've taken this to open mic, and man, it's just it sounds great. And man, I can actually play it fairly decently. So
I play, I have, mine, I play it in my studio. That's what I practice on. Then I have my Ovation that I take on stage because I just feel so comfortable with it on stage.
Right.
But if I do
forever.
If I do one where I'll be sitting, I'll probably play this because I'm still getting used to playing it standing up because it's way out in front of me.
Yes. But it's a very different feel.
But when I sit with it, when I sit and play it, it's very comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I love that. I love this guitar. So yeah, it's like I have like 9 now. One of them is in my nail studio that I leave there. It's my first Ovation because it's red and it fits the color pattern of the spa. So I leave that one there.
Yeah.
But I still pick that one up and I'll play it. I had a client come in. I figured, I have some time before she gets there. And she came in early, and it turned out she sat and listened to me play 2 songs before she let me know she was there. I was like, oh, you got to let me know. I wanted to hear you.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. So, but yeah, it's it'll be neat to have those conversations about your first guitar and, the instruments and how sometimes the instrument itself can inspire and motivate.
Oh, yeah. And with this being more, instrument playing friendly, if our guests decide they want to bring more than one instrument in, they are more than welcome.
That'll be fun.
If you've got several guitars that you want to go back and forth between, we can do that.
It'd be neat to, because I would just to hear what made you play this guitar. What was it? Because I know I have my preferences. I didn't know I was gonna like an Ovation, but I got my first one so cheap. I
Mhm.
grabbed it because I love the story. It was like $80.
Yeah.
And it was in perfect. It was in very, very good condition. And I'm like, this should be a lot expensive. And the sales guy told me, he says, the owner hates Ovation. He wants it out of here. Wow.
Hey, it works.
He didn't care. He goes, I would get it if I were you. Like,
Yeah.
okay. And it had a case too.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay.
Well, this one I freaked out the guys at Guitar Center because they pulled this out for me. I put my hands on it. I didn't play anything. I just put my hands on the guitar, put my fingers on the fretboard, and I says, "Oh yes." And he's like, "Don't you want to try and tune it and try it?" I was like, "Okay." It doesn't matter. I've already decided, unless this thing sounds like complete garbage.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't.
And I was there earlier that week, and that's how I
you
told you about this.
It's your fault.
We went there. We went up to El Paso to go shopping for something. I took my granddaughter. So she said, my wife said, go to Guitar Center and look around a little bit and have fun. Take Camille in there. And my granddaughter loves guitars. And so we went into the acoustic room and she goes, Grandpa, play one. I'm like, okay, my granddaughter, I'm not going to disappoint her.
Mhm.
So I looked and I saw this one and I thought, oh, this one looks cool. And I picked it up and I played it and I was like 2 chords in going, whoa.
Yeah.
And
And there are 3 of these guitars that I know of in town.
Yeah.
You own one. I own one.
Yeah.
Damian Luna owns one. And I talked to him after one of my lessons, and we all have the same story. We're addicted to this guitar.
Yeah,
There's something about the way this thing plays.
Yeah, it's just and the other thing is that it was not expensive
No.
at all. It was like one of those things where I probably, if I had bought it and brought it home, my wife probably wouldn't have been that upset.
No.
Because it wasn't that expensive.
Well, it was on sale anyway.
Yeah.
But being a Washburn, they keep their prices lower.
Yeah.
They've got some high-end stuff as well now, which they never had before, electric guitars. But their acoustics, they still keep the prices low, and it's a pretty little thing.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
And I can't believe how good it sounds.
Oh yeah.
That's the part that blows me away.
Well,
And
we've been plugging in our instruments. We don't plug this one in when we play it here.
It's loud. That's the one thing. This thing is loud.
If you notice, I kept moving my body and where my head was while I was playing and singing, because I can adjust you. Yeah. I can't adjust me. So I'm watching where my levels are, and I'm adjusting. I got to step back. I got to move the guitar this way. That sound hole is way too close to the mic, and that sort of thing.
I played at a Salud de Mesilla last month, and I have a column speaker, and it has a Bluetooth connection where there's an app on my tablet. So my wife, when my wife shows up, when my wife comes, I'll give her the tablet so she can adjust the mic levels and just make sure. And sometimes she gets bored and starts playing with it, and all of a sudden I can't hear myself. And then all of a sudden my reverb is way too high, and she's just sitting there playing. And I'm like, and sometimes, people are, a lot of times she'll do that when nobody's there, because there are times when you're playing and there's a lull. But then one time she did it and there were some people there and they were laughing. They thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like, sometimes it's good to have somebody, to mess with the sound for you, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Well, when you got somebody like me that's obsessive.
Oh yeah.
It's hard for me to hear somebody doing sound at a concert or something, and I can hear what's wrong, and I so want to just go up there and tweak. And yeah, I remember when I played at the Maze, Nikki and Greg were playing before me, and Nikki, I can't remember her last name, but she's a great singer. She her and her husband stayed to listen to me for a little while, and her husband walked up, and he walked around to like the back a little bit, and then came up after I finished the song, and he goes, "You need to turn your vocals up a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." I mean, that is cool when you do that. you think that performers are going to get pissed if you say something like that, and they don't. They really don't, for the most part.
They appreciate it, because he can tell. I didn't have somebody helping me with the sound.
Yeah.
So he was like, I thought, he thought he'd help me out, and it did. It was great. You love doing that. The musician community here is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a great thing to be involved in.
For sure. Well, we've delayed quite a bit, but you're still going to have to play something. Okay. And I see the song you got pulled up here.
I don't know why. thought I'm gonna do this one.
By the way, I love that you've got your book up there.
Yeah,
Every time I see, and there's a bunch of musicians that they've got books or they've got tablets. Makes me feel better because memorizing is hard.
It is.
I'm just not there.
Bury me softly in this world. I give this part of me for you. Santa rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tub. Down in a hole and I don't know if I can be saved. See my heart I decorated like a grave. Don't understand who they thought I was supposed to be. But look at me now, I'm a man who won't let himself be. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Down in a hole, losing control. I like to fly, but my wings have been so denied. Down in a hole and they put all the stones in their place. I've eaten the sun so my tongue has been burned of the taste. I have been guilty of kicking myself in the teeth, but I will speak no more of my feelings beneath. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Down in a hole, losing control. I like to fly, but my wings have been so denied. Bury me softly in this world. I give this part of me for you. Santa rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tub.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a song that I tried to learn a couple of years ago when I was going through a really, really dark time. For some reason, that song just spoke to me, and so it kind of reminds me of where I don't want to go back to.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. Though.
Yeah.
By the way, with the new show, there may be a point where maybe we're gonna try something together, you and me.
Yeah.
I don't know what yet,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm getting more comfortable with the idea of playing with other people. So
That's good. I know when a long time ago when I started going to open mic and Dwight and Red said, "Oh, if you want us to play with you," I said, "You don't want to do that."
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then one time they just got up and started playing with me, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Actually, the first time they asked me, what I told them was, "Oh no, no, I'm a beginner."
Yeah.
And they looked at me like, "What the hell does that have to do with anything?" It's like,
I know they legit because I talked with I had a drummer and a bass player that said they wanted to back me up. They want to join me. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not that good yet. And he goes, well, our job is to make you sound good. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. So it's a possibility later on, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that. I don't know how busy I'll be. We'll see what happens. But, I got the day job I have to focus on a lot
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And that's been picking up, which has been really nice.
That's always good. Yeah.
Having some clients that are letting me have fun.
So to get a little nerdy, since we haven't gotten nerdy today,
Yeah,
really.
we're supposed to be. Trevor's not here to keep us on the nerd trail.
Yeah. So they do have a list of what's coming out for Disney Plus for January.
Okay.
With the first of this month. So it's already up there. This is a big deal. X-Men First Class is on Disney Plus. This is a big deal because this is not a Disney movie. This is a Fox movie. X-Men was a Fox property.
Oh, okay.
And Fox, Disney has bought the rights to several characters, including the main ones are X-Men, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four.
Really?
There will be a Fantastic Four movie. There's also going to be a cameo in something coming up soon, I hear. There's going to be the mutants are going to be introduced finally. But the thing is, this is the first Fox property that we've seen on a Disney site. So this is showing they're moving forward with this. By the way, the Deadpool movie is moving ahead. And the one thing that Ryan Reynolds and Disney both have assured us of, this will be another R-rated movie.
Oh,
they're not going to sit there and try to make it more family friendly. They're going to stick with what's been working. So that's going to be great. Those movies are they're amazingly funny. They're amazingly well written, and they would not work as anything other than R-rated movies. The material is just too harsh, and if you cut that back, it's just not as good.
I remember watching the TV version of Blazing Saddles. It was like,
it's a hard thing to watch.
It's like, I remember somebody who never seen it before go, well, that's not so bad. And I said, no, you have to watch the original.
Of course, we've got Book of Boba Fett every Wednesday.
Yes.
And after that's over, then we'll be seeing The Mandalorian season 3 come up.
They are bringing it back.
Yes.
Oh.
And that will lead into a bunch of other stuff. Kenobi is coming.
Yes, that one's gonna be good.
I forget his name. The spy from that one Star Wars standalone, Rogue Squadron.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be doing a prequel series based on him.
Yeah.
They are going to do the Ahsoka Tano series, which is going to be I think it's going to be very samurai.
Who's that?
She was in the season 2 of Mandalorian. She was the Jedi. Well, she's not a Jedi, but close enough.
Okay. Got it.
She was in the animated Clone Wars series. She's a great character. And they're bringing her back, and apparently she is going after Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is going to be a nice little tie-in for fans of the novels, because he was the big bad in the novels. But they're doing that. Diary of a Wimpy Kid is going to have its own animated series on Disney, so those books were huge. For those of you that are a little older and want to introduce your kids, especially to something that you remember when you were a kid, as of not yesterday, as of the 7th, 2 days from now, The Sandlot is coming to Disney.
Oh, okay.
So they're getting to broaden their stuff with some of the properties they've bought. January 12th, The Eternals will be on Disney Plus. So if you didn't see it in theaters, which I didn't see it in theaters, it was hard to get into. It'll be on Disney Plus. That's another one of the Marvel things. They are also doing on January 19th a special called Assembled: The Making of Hawkeye. The Hawkeye miniseries on Disney is amazingly good.
Oh, okay.
So good. You probably need. I would say that you need to probably watch the last 2 Avengers movies before you watch it, and you definitely need to watch Black Widow, because one of the characters from Black Widow's sister Yelena shows up in this, and this actress is just hilarious. She's a physical badass, but she's just very matter of fact about what she does, and she cracks jokes left and right. And she's the actress is kind of a wild card anyway, and she's kind of brings that to this character, and it's fun. Plus, the best thing about this, and I don't care if it's a spoiler because I think it's big news, they have the Kingpin show up in Hawkeye, and the Kingpin is played by D'Onofrio, Vincent D'Onofrio. They are bringing back, he is doing the same Kingpin from the Netflix Daredevil series.
Oh, okay.
And if you've never seen that, you need to see it. It is amazingly good. And he played this great Kingpin.
Oh, wow.
Big heavy guy. They called him the Fat Man. Everybody made fun of him. He's a scary guy, physically as well.
That's cool.
And D'Onofrio plays it so strong. They were mentioning him on the set. Says, yeah, he'd get into character, and a bunch of us, we were a little bit intimidated just by him being in character.
Wow.
And by the way, he's not the only Netflix Marvel character to be coming back. Charlie Cox has a short cameo in the new Spider-Man movie. He will be in some stuff they're talking about doing, at least a Disney Plus live action series with him as Daredevil. And he was a great Daredevil in Netflix. I can't strongly suggest that show enough.
Wow.
Right off the bat, it was like the first or second episode. There is a fight scene. It takes place in a hallway.
Oh, wow.
With these guys coming out of these rooms and attacking him, and him just beating him down or getting beat by them. He gets his butt kicked quite a bit, but it's back and forth, and it's the action is very involved. It's very explosive, and it's one take.
Oh, wow.
There is one camera, never a cut.
Oh, man.
They're on this whole thing. The camera just moves back and forth as they're going up and down the hallway, and they never cut, and it goes on a really long time. So it may be the most impressive fight scene I have ever seen anywhere. The other one tied in with the Daredevil also had his own show on Netflix. They are bringing back the guy Frank Grillo, who played the Punisher. They're going to bring his Punisher into Marvel Cinematic Canon.
Wow.
So, and there may be some others to follow, because there's people who really want to see some of these other characters, especially Jessica Jones, come in.
Yeah.
Which was a great show. If you don't like comic book shows, you would love Jessica Jones.
Yeah, she is. It's not the typical.
No,
it is not typical at all.
So you've seen that one?
Yes, I saw the whole first season.
Yeah.
The girl that plays her is really good.
What is her first name?
I can't remember her name.
Her last name is Ritter.
Yeah,
because she's the guy from Three's Company.
John Ritter.
John Ritter. She's his daughter.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and she did a bunch of comedy stuff. She did a great show called "Don't Trust the Bee" in Apartment 3.
Okay.
It was
because I remember seeing her character actor on a couple shows, and she was funny. But man,
she's very funny. But man,
she plays this role very good. It's not a typical hero kind of.
Yeah, it's your more noir style detective story.
She's a detective. She's got a terrible attitude, and
alcoholic.
The alcoholic,
out of control alcoholic.
Yeah, it's like there was a couple of episodes where she's like fine, and she doesn't drink, she throws away and then she's it didn't last long.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, she's definitely an alcoholic.
Yeah,
and yet she's a superhero. She's got this amazing strength, and that's something else.
Well, I am not one of the haters of the original Suicide Squad movie. I got to admit, the Suicide Squad, the new movie, was so over the top, so much better. They put James Gunn in charge of it, who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and they just let him go. And it's an amazingly good movie. They are doing a spinoff on HBO Max on one of the characters, Peacemaker, played by John Cena.
Oh, John Cena from WWE. Okay.
And it looks really, really good. That's coming this month as well. The new trailer is finally up. So sometime before the end of the year, we'll see this. The Batman movie is coming. And apparently it's going to be like a year one Batman. They're going to bring in Selena Kyle, Catwoman.
Ooh.
And the big bad is going to be the Riddler. and a
Oh,
very dark version of the Riddler.
I don't know what's that one. What's his
the
name?
Jim Carrey movie.
No, not Jim Carrey. There was another the Riddler that was played by Heath Ledger.
Oh, he did the Joker.
Joker.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's right.
Oh, nobody's touching the Joker for a while because of that.
because Heath Ledger did that was the way. Because I mean, I'm watching this going, yeah, I grew up with Cesar Romero.
Mhm.
That is not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, he took it in a whole different direction, and it was
Yeah.
brilliant. Brilliant, man.
Some people say that that was part of his demise.
Yes. He was having some emotional problems, and that was
And
a
that
large
was-
part of it. But
yeah, having to keep that character going. So.
yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. Coming to theaters in 2023, so we got this to look forward to, is the John Wick Chapter 4.
Mhm.
So I guess I should probably watch Chapter 3.
Yeah.
It hasn't been out on any free streaming service, and they're good movies. I did sit and binge watch another Keanu series of movies. I sat and watched 1 through 3 of The Matrix, and then it's up on HBO Max as well. I watched Matrix Resurrection, which is done by one of the Wachowskis, one of their daughter, Lana Wachowski.
Right.
And damn, she did the franchise justice really well. I was like, yeah, this is going to be just a knockoff, try to gain some bucks, and of course that's the goal. But they did it very well, and it flowed very similar. It didn't destroy the trilogy. It fit in nicely, and I liked it a lot.
That's cool. That is really cool.
So I would suggest, if you haven't seen The Matrix in a while, before you watch the new one, watch the first 3. It's there was stuff I forgot.
I haven't seen any of them
Ever.
I've never seen any of them.
Man, you've got to. When people talk about taking the red pill, that's where it comes
I
from.
have no idea where it. I thought I went to Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I don't remember it. So yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's based on Alice in Wonderland a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of references throughout.
It's like you can kind of see a Alice in Wonderland. That's what I was told. I'm like, yeah, I never got into it.
Yeah, no, they're such good movies and such great allegories for what's been going on even then and today. It's still really relevant stuff. Oh, speaking of, I said I was going to get into something political real quick, so let's get into something political.
Okay.
If you've been to a grocery store here lately, you will notice there's been a change.
Oh, you do not want to get me started.
Here in the city of Las Cruces, you cannot get a plastic bag at a grocery store. It is against the law for stores to provide them. They will provide you with paper bags. They will charge you 10 cents a bag. By the way, the ones that Walmart are using are incredibly small. They're about the third the size of what they should be.
Yeah, they're. Go ahead, keep going.
But here's my point, and here's where it gets political for just a minute. Okay. And this is typical for our city council. So the city council, part of this statute that they passed, they are requiring these places to sell the paper bags. They have to. So don't get mad at the store.
Yeah, it's not the store that's decided. If it was up to them, they would just provide them.
Yeah. They have to charge 10 cents a bag. 5 cents to go to the store to offset the cost of the bag. 5 cents to go to the city, who has incurred no extra charge by this.
Yeah.
But once again, I'll actually be writing about this in the paper. I got my opening. I got an opening joke for the whole thing, talking about the weather and how cold it's been. It's been so cold that Mayor Ken Miyagishima, I actually saw him out and he had his hands in his own pockets for once.
Yeah, that bothered me immensely.
Yeah,
because 5 cents and they say it's for the production, the awareness of this, and like.
That's a bunch of crap.
that is so basically they decided to find a way to tax you.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I remember the term carpetbagging. And I'm pretty sure that's what Missouri still has a personal property tax. So if you buy a car, you pay your taxes on it. If you keep the car, every year you still have to pay taxes on it. You have to pay another tax to keep the car. I was infuriated every time I had to pay that.
Oh yeah.
It was just like, really? And now this is as simple. They wanted money and they found a way to get it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the litter, because if they were that concerned, they would ban masks, because there's more masks around on the ground everywhere than there are bags.
Everywhere. It's bad.
They are everywhere. It is so bad. It's like, because and there've been a couple of Facebook posts about it. So I posted one time on the city one. I said, so when are they going to ban masks? Because there's a whole lot more of those than the bags.
Oh yeah. And there's a mean part of me that was tempted to say, well, I found some places online where you can buy plastic grocery bags in bulk.
Take them in.
I was like, not even just take them in. I was like, man, I ought to buy just a ton of those and sit out in front of some of these stores and hand them to people as they go in. There's nothing illegal about that.
Exactly. And it's funny because they said it's the environment. Okay, so now we're back to killing trees. There's nothing I cannot see. This was a very there's a lot of people say, well, it's not that big. No, it is a big deal. It's not so much about the bags. To me, it's not so much about the bags. Yeah, it's inconvenient and it's annoying, because especially the ones that Walmart has is like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. Those are not going to work. And then it's just that 10 cents and the fact that so much of it, that half of it is going to something that's not necessary.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that kind of eats at me. So this is a rare thing. We don't do this as a rule,
but I think a lot of people are,
and this is something that does affect us here in town.
Yeah.
This is specific to Las Cruces.
Because I'm thinking, because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but I have a wife that likes to stock up. And there are times where it takes us 2 carts to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I am not looking forward to that next trip, because it's going to be a pain to get that. I mean, I remember when I was in an apartment and I had to walk up the steps. Yeah, you have those other bags, but how many of those are you going to carry in?
Mm-hmm.
You can get, and I noticed those blue Walmart bags that you used to be able to get, the reusable ones, couldn't find them.
No, I didn't see them either.
They're nowhere to be found.
Now, I did order some reusable bags online that are cotton.
Okay.
They are single color. I got single color.
Yeah.
I have an airbrush. So I'm going to put some messages on my bags.
Yep. There you go. I thought that was the really hard, because to me, that proved this was nothing more than a money grab, because now you can't find in Walmart, you cannot find the reusable bags. You have to get, if you have bags, you have to get those. And I thought, that's it. That proved to me, that's my opinion. Sorry. That's a money grab.
Oh yeah, for sure. From Geek Tyrant, we have a story to get back to nerdy stuff.
Okay, let's do that.
See, we dealt with this and took our toe back out of the water.
We're back.
There is a rumor that's going around that there is an upcoming Star Wars project that will star Han Solo. And it will be Harrison Ford.
No.
There's not a lot that's going on right now. According to the latest rumor, which comes from Comic Book, Han Solo is set to show in a small role in the big grand finale of the Book of Boba Fett.
That is going to be the most watched episode of anything ever in the history of Star Wars. Anything.
I don't know how they're going to do that. They are talking about they're going to de-age him like they did Mark Hamill in the last episode of season 2 of Mandalorian, which you can only do for a short amount of time because it's really expensive.
Hey, Boba Fett. Hey, Boba Fett made it out of the stomach of the Sarlacc, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't believe I remembered that.
Where he would be, be digested for 1,000 years.
Hey, the Darth Maul was cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
So it's reasonable to think that Han Solo somehow could survive that fall.
Oh yeah,
after being stabbed. So come on, let's work that out.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's something else going on.
I'm still on the fact that I remember the name of that damn thing.
By the way, if you really want to feel old, you know what's 20 years old right now? The first Harry Potter movie.
Oh dear God, you gotta be kidding. Are you serious? 20 years. Oh
I was watching this once again. This is really not a commercial for HBO Max.
No.
But there is a special on HBO Max right now. It is a Return to Hogwarts.
The Return to Hogwarts. I saw about that.
It is so good.
Really, that's great.
So they got Daniel Radcliffe. They've got Emma Watson. They've got, I just went blank on his name, the kid that played Ron Weasley.
Yeah, Rupert.
Grant.
Like Grant Rupert.
Yeah. So they had the three of them, and they had a bunch of the other stars on there.
It's really funny because I remember seeing they had the picture on there. I saw it somewhere, and I'm looking and going, man, they couldn't get Malfoy back. And then I look,
they
and
did.
Oh wait, that's him.
Yes, he does not look
he
the
does
same.
Not look the same. You have to look at it and go, wait, that's him.
Yeah, and for me, the neatest thing was watching. They got Helen Bonham Carter on there, and she does part of this to just sit down in Gringotts because the sets still exist.
Oh,
understand this was CGI was not being used very much, so they didn't use CGI in the first movies.
No,
it was all physical.
Yeah.
They built these sets. They still exist. The first movie, when you had the floating candles, those were actual burning candles on a wire,
oh man,
fishing wire. They were using apparently flammable wire at the beginning because they were sitting there shooting, and all of a sudden the candles start falling as it burns through. But these kids were talking about walking in there, and here's the candles floating, and it made it so real.
The reactions that they had were actually real because that was the first time they saw them. I mean, it's just.
But I'm watching Helena Bonham Carter with these people who they used to be the kids on the show, and they're very poised. They become seasoned actors. And she's a big kid. Yeah. She brings her teeth from when she played Bellatrix Lestrange. She pulls out a Ziploc, says, "I've still got them here." And she says, "Have you ever washed those?" Says, "No." Says, "I just put them in the bag. I haven't washed them. I haven't done anything." And she pulls them out and puts them in her mouth. And Daniel Radcliffe is sitting there going, "Oh." And she's sitting there talking. She was talking to the kid that played Malfoy, and she asked him, says, "Did you steal anything from the set? Because I stole a bunch of stuff." But the whole thing, it was so beautiful to watch.
Cool
and
watch this.
I got choked up at a couple of points because it gets emotional because, these kids grew up on that show.
Yeah.
And, those movies took a lot of years.
Yeah.
And you got to see them grow up. Emma Watson actually didn't want to come back for the last movies. She was having some trouble. She felt like she was getting devoured by the characters.
Yeah.
And they had to work with her to get her to come back.
But she did play in the movie Noah with blank. But anyway, she played in the movie Noah, and she was very good. Because I was worried. I mean, I think a lot of people were worried that you're going to look at her and think, "Oh, it's Hermione." No, she did very good. And I think that was an important step for her to do that, because that was not too long after the end of the Potter series. So we saw that. And it was really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they do show some of the early screen tests that they did, including the first screen test with the three kids together.
Oh, really?
And they're just like, we were kind of impressed with all three of them. They were definitely, when they found Daniel Radcliffe didn't try out for Harry Potter. They went through
the part, so they had to. Yeah.
Well, they went through tons of kids, and they were like, "All right." And then one of them was watching on Masterpiece Theater. They were watching a movie that he was in, and they says, "That's him. We got to find
Harry
this
Potter,
kid."
Yeah, because I was surprised because the book illustrations, when the movie came out, the book illustrations, he's really. I mean, wow.
Well, and the thing is, his parents didn't want him to do it. They're like, "No, we don't want him in that world. He did this one thing. We don't want him in that world." And Chris Columbus basically had to go to the mat to get him in there, and sweet talk the dad to have him come on set and see some of the screen tests they were doing, and had to work hard to get him in there. And the first time they had the three of them do a screen test together, they were like, "These are the ones. This is absolutely it."
I think the thing about that series of movies is like that is the only, I think it's probably the only series of movies where everybody that went to see it already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
They already knew the whole story. Because, the books came out, and I mean, I read the first book. I think the first movie was out, and I didn't read the first book, but I went ahead and read the second book, and I started to read them, made sure I read the books before the movies came out.
Yeah.
But yet I was there, man. I was in for it. J.K. Rowling, I think a lot of people say it. She single-handedly got kids reading again.
Yes, absolutely. I went to several of the openings when the book was released.
Yeah.
People don't do release parties for books anymore.
No.
These were huge.
I remember the book, the Order of the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
That book outsold the top 3 movies combined.
Yes.
That weekend.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
And you'd see these kids sitting around reading.
Yes. There were kids. My son went and got it the first day, and he said that every car that he walked out to in the parking lot, kids were in the back seat with the book already reading it.
Yep. Immediately.
They were just like, he said, everybody, there were kids walking out reading it. It was like they were not going to wait.
Well, I think it might have been Order of the Phoenix that I was at the opening release, hanging out with some friends because we reserved our books too, and we were watching. It was at the what was it? It was Walden Books.
Oh,
it doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
But they had or was it? It might have been Barnes and Noble by that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Barnes and Noble because they had the cafe, and they were doing butterbeer among other things.
Oh wow!
But there were kids that they had little reading nooks in the store, and there were kids that as soon as they got their books, they didn't leave.
Yeah,
they went and found a corner and started.
Yeah,
I was just like, man, see these kids reading
in
an age where everybody's talking about how reading is dead.
Yeah, reading was, and it was nobody was reading.
Yeah.
Nobody, it was like hard. They were having all kinds of, national campaigns to try and get kids reading again.
And it didn't do anything.
Nothing. This woman writes these books, and now kids
in a cafe because she
could
get one price to drink coffee all day long.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't afford anything.
Yeah.
Sit there with her baby in a stroller.
And now she's responsible for kids reading it, because after that, kids started grabbing other books and reading other things because they started enjoying it. And it was just amazing. And I just love the fact that it's like, we all know what's going to happen, but yet we want to see this movie anyway.
Oh yeah.
It was funny. And then I remember reading the fourth book, the one with the game. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It was a huge book. This thing was huge. It took a long time to finish. I remember reading that going, how the heck are they going to make a movie out of it? They could have made 2 movies out of that book.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the 8th one came out, my oldest son, when the 7th one came out, he literally bought it Friday night, went to his room, and he did not come out until it was over. He came out to eat. That was it. He said he sat and read that thing cover to cover, took a nap, and then he finished it in 2 days.
Well, and I love all the adults that were like, no, I'm not going to read those. Those are kids' books. And they got pushed and pushed, usually by their kids to read the things. And then all of a sudden they're as addicted as their kids.
Yeah.
Emma Watson was talking about in this thing when she was little, says her dad would read these books to her and her brother, and he would do all the voices.
Oh.
And says every night they'd get to an end of a chapter and they just beg for one more.
Yeah.
And when the opportunity came up to do the role, she jumped.
That's cool.
And
she was so good. She was great.
She was perfect.
I knew it. I was in California, and Kathy and I just got married, and I was in the apartment, and I came out, and there was this guy that lived in the apartment complex or down by the pool, and this was a LAPD sergeant. This dude you looked at him, he was a cop, just looked like, he was tough looking, nice guy. But then I come out there and he's sitting there reading a Harry Potter book. And I said, oh, and he told me he's read them all twice.
Yes.
And he said the 4th book was his favorite. He said, yeah, wait, you got to, because I was just finishing the 3rd, and he goes, yeah, wait till you get to, he goes, this one's my favorite.
Yeah.
And he gave my son a copy of the Sorcerer's Stone to get him started.
Perfect. Yeah. When the phenomena started really hitting, I remember what was the show? I think it was a show. It was a sitcom called Just Shoot Me.
Yeah.
They did an episode where they were dealing with a bunch of Harry Potter fans, mainly adults, and
Yeah.
the whole episode they're basically making fun of them,
Yeah.
like you would comic book nerds.
Yeah.
And it was the only time I saw something media-wise that made fun of Harry Potter fans, because people quickly realized afterwards, that's not a really good idea. This is a larger group
No.
of people than you realize. You might not want to alienate them. But yeah, that was the only time I heard them make fun of them. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, whatever. And next thing you know, yeah, this thing has become so huge. And when the first movie got announced, it just exploded all over the place. And when they started doing interviews with these kids, and I hadn't read the books at this point, I think I started reading the books after the first movie came out, first or second. I think it
Yeah.
was after the first one.
That's what I did. Yeah.
But I was watching the interviews with these kids, and I was like, I really wanted to see these kids because, my God, they're excited, they're engaged, and they're smart. I mean, they're right there with what they're
Yeah.
doing. These are not, a bunch of flighty little kids that would rather be running around playing. They're focused on what they're talking about,
Yeah.
and they're passionate about this. So yeah, I'm going to be checking out this movie.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool. It
and
was a
and then I
great-
found that Robbie Coltrane was in it, and I was like, oh, I'm there.
Yeah, no. Oh, I forgot his name. One of the they emptied the vault of all the British actors.
Oh God, yes.
Nearly Headless Nick. I look at him, I recognize him.
John
That's
Cleese?
John. Yeah, I was like, dude, I remember him. Billy Connolly was also one of them, and I was like,
Yes.
that dude. If you ever get a chance to watch Billy Connolly,
Mhm.
his stand up, oh, he is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
He is so funny. He was on an episode. He was on the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn.
Mm-hmm.
Two Irishmen, two Scottishmen. That was hilarious.
Well, they were talking to the kids on that, and they were saying, we were surrounded by these amazing actors, and we didn't know who they were.
Mm-mm.
We didn't watch the stuff they'd been in.
Yeah.
We had no idea that we were surrounded by so much greatness. They were basically just other actors on set, and they were just really nice to us and kind of treated us like extra parents.
Yeah.
And I mean, my God.
I can't remember half of the names, but I remember
I'm
Snape. His name just totally escapes me. I remember him on the movie Dogma.
Oh yes.
With that, he's just great. They were just they did that right.
Yeah, that was Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, yes.
Yeah.
God, that guy was funny. He was good. he was creepy as hell.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching this. That dude is creepy. And then and the guy that played Dumbledore in the first two movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sad that he passed away because he nailed Dumbledore.
Well, he did. That was Richard Harris.
Richard Harris.
He did, but the thing is, with the later movies, he was going to have to get more physical. I'm not sure he
Yeah.
could have pulled that off as well.
Yeah.
Michael Gambon came in and took it over, and at first I was like, ugh, and then I was like, actually, this works really well.
He did very well, but it's just, I mean, the first Dumbledore, he was perfect because that guy, I remember him in the movie Orca.
Mm-hmm.
And he was good in that.
Yeah. See, I remember Richard Harris. One of the first things, HBO was brand new.
Oh,
And we had HBO,
yeah.
and so they had movies on there, but they put other stuff, and they put on a stage performance of Camelot, and he was up there singing, and I was like, who is this guy? I love this. And yeah, his career was just huge, and he's one of those that the reason he accepted the role is because his granddaughter begged him. Says, you've got to do it. Same
funny.
thing with Ray Fiennes. It was his daughter.
Mhm.
Because he asked her, says, you read these Harry Potter books?
Mhm.
And she says, yeah. And she says, what do you know about this character Voldemort? And she says, you've been asked to play Voldemort? And done.
Yeah, he had no choice.
And he wasn't sure about playing another villain,
Yeah.
but he did it so well. And he's in the special too. It's a great little special. Yeah. Ralph
So
Fiennes
that's
did
great.
that. Yeah. Robbie Coltrane, who was known for all of his comedy, and then he steps in and,
Mhm.
you're a wizard, Harry. He was perfect. The first one the first actor that came on, and it was the second wave.
Mhm.
that Daniel Radcliffe knew,
Right.
and of course he lost his mind. Was when
Oh,
Gary
man.
Sinise came in. Gary Oldman came in to play a Sirius Black, and he's just like, I know this guy. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And apparently they were talking to him and Emma Watson, and Watson sits there and says, "Yeah, I remember." Says, "You came up to me and you says, don't do anything stupid. Don't embarrass yourself. This is a big deal." And Daniel Radcliffe says, "Yeah, actually, I was saying that to you, but it was directed at me because I was like, Daniel, don't screw this up.
Yeah.
Don't say anything stupid. This is a really big deal."
Yeah.
And they ended up becoming really good friends. Apparently, they just sit on the set and just laugh
Those
and
are
carry
fun.
on.
Those are really fun things to watch when you get the people like that and they just talk about their experience and stuff and just be a part of the conversation. That is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Oh yeah. And my favorite from the show, to get nerdy in a different way,
Mhm.
is Jason Isaacs, who played Lucius Malfoy.
Oh yes.
Who apparently
Okay, that's his name.
scared the hell out of the kid playing Draco at times, because he was the nicest guy until it was time to be in character.
Yeah.
And he was scary.
He was creepy.
And it didn't help. One of the scenes, if you remember, I think it was the first movie, Draco reaches up to touch something in one of the stores.
Yeah.
And Lucius comes with his cane with that little bird head,
Yeah.
and bap, says, "Don't touch anything."
That was,
He says,
yeah, that was,
He says, "I didn't realize how sharp the beak was on that. It went into the poor kid's hand."
oh no.
And he's in character. He's still stern with him. And this kid, he's watching this kid with tears welling up in his eyes, and he's like, "Oh my God." It calls cut. He gets down on his level. He puts his hands on him, and he says, "I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't mean it." And he says, "That's okay." He says, "Worked really well for the scene though, didn't it?" I was like, that kid's got a future.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So
oh wow.
yeah. God, who all did they have on there? Maggie Smith, who played Professor McGonagall.
Oh,
I love
was
her in
anything
everything
she does.
Yeah. By the way, they had Mark Williams, who played Arthur Weasley, the dad. They had him on this, and he's such a neat guy.
Yeah.
Of course, Imelda Stanton. She wasn't in the special, but she played Dolores Umbridge. Great actress. Warwick Davis was in this.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is going to be in a remake, another Willow movie, not a remake. That they're doing another Willow movie. He's going to be in it.
Well, my gosh, that's going back a ways.
Another one that died since the movie came out. Julie Walters. She played the Weasley's mom.
Oh,
amazing actress, and she was so good in that role. Daniel Thewlis, who played what was it, Remus?
Oh,
yeah. And he's in the special, which is cool. Richard Griffiths, who also died. Amazing British actor, and apparently one of the warmest people on the set to Daniel Radcliffe, and he played Uncle Dudley, Uncle Vernon.
Yeah, the guy hated him.
Yeah. Ian Hart, Fiona Shaw, Helen McCrory. Yes, I'm cheating. Emma Thompson, Vern Troyer was in it. John Hurt.
John Hurt. Why am I blanking out on that?
Ollivander. The wandsman.
Yes.
By the way, John Hurt, before he died, got to play the role that he wanted to, but was never able to because of timing. Every time that the role was offered to him, he had to say no. He finally got to play the Doctor in Doctor Who before he died.
Wow.
And an amazing thing. I had a friend that just contacted me and said that he finally sat and watched the Day of the Doctor special. And he says, "Oh my God, it was so good." I was like, yeah, because John Hurt's amazing.
Yeah.
And he was perfect in that.
That is really cool.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh, of course, played such a Weasley little snot. By the way, apparently the role that Ralph Fiennes wanted to play, he didn't really want to play Voldemort.
Wow.
But he was kind of happy with what he ended up getting. He played Gilderoy Lockhart. Played it over the top. Of course, John Cleese. And these kid actors that nobody knew and came up, and they came into their own so well.
Yeah.
And it's neat to see a bunch of them back together.
Yeah.
I love, and I couldn't see her on here. I can't remember her name. The girl that played Luna Lovegood.
Yeah.
She is so good
Yeah.
in those movies, and God, she's gorgeous today.
Adorable.
She's and she's still acting.
Yeah.
But she was talking about, says, I think the reason I got the role is I'd grown up watching the first movies, and then she tried out for this for the role of Luna for the new movies.
Yeah.
And she says, so I've been used to watching these movies, and I'm actually doing my screen test with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there giving these lines, and instead of giving them back to him, I'm just looking at him going, because I'm just like, I'm used to watching him on TV, not interacting with him. And she says, so I think I came across a little flighty, and I think that's what got me the role.
Yeah, because that's the way she was. That's that's great.
So
that's so good.
But 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm absolutely amazed that this is where it's come. But an amazing movie with and the books, once in a lifetime gold.
Yeah.
I don't think you could actually bring that.
There've been a lot of I know there've been a lot of writers that have released books that kind of played off of it to try to, siphon off of that.
Oh yeah, and some of them were okay.
Yeah, but some of them failed miserably. It was like they were ridiculed, and it's almost like they'll never write again because they obviously tried to rip off of Harry Potter and kind of cash in.
Oh yeah, well, the Percy Jackson books, not bad, but it's obvious what they were doing.
Yeah.
So that didn't even finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary the amount of time that's passed. 2001 was a release date for the first Harry Potter film, up through 2011. So that was 10 years for these kids doing these movies.
Gosh, I wasn't even married. Kathy and I weren't even married yet.
Yeah. But
that went fast.
No lie. Throw in some music, throw in some nerdy crap, throw in a little bit of outrage at our city, and
make us feel old, and we're done for the day.
True. This was fun.
This was great, man. And we're looking forward to next week. You don't want to miss that.
Oh,
that's going to be fun.
I don't even know how to explain how good this band is.
And
I don't think you can.
And the one thing fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
And since we're going to do things a little bit different, I may end up just grabbing this camera and moving in close on Danny's fingers a little bit, because watching him play it's
play
amazing.
Around with things like that. So we're cool.
Especially considering he does stuff that we don't.
Yeah.
We don't do any of the finger picking.
I do not do leads. I can't. Tried.
It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
And I may try to pick up some of it eventually, but I'm really happy with what I'm learning, and I've got a lot to learn. Right now, in my guitar classes, Damian and I are composing music for a song, which is difficult. Difficult. There have been classes that I never pick up a guitar. We're just doing music theory because it's so far beyond where I'm at.
That's cool.
Which is nice, because I've got a background in music theory that's helped a lot, but this is going way beyond that.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about the minor and major chords, how they work, how they fit together, and it's a cool thing. It's very involved, and I like that. And we may end up with a song. Right now, the chord progression is one I can't play very well. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
It's got that dreaded F chord that I'm better at it, but I'm still fighting it all the time. So I was like, we're gonna steer clear of B, but but F, I'll go ahead and I'll muddle through it.
Just at one point you're gonna challenge yourself. That's what happened to me.
Oh
it's
yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of songs I'm able to do because I learned that chord.
Oh yeah, for sure. But so you definitely want to tune in. Well, we'll still be here every Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Unless we decide to change the time, which we could, but that's not anything we've talked about yet. So we're staying here for now. And of course, we got the other show, which will be pre-recorded. So if you're a musician who's interested, let us know. and we're basically gonna have to put together like a schedule thing to figure out when
Yeah.
people are available, because we can do that anytime because
Yeah,
it's
because
gonna
we're
be
gonna record
pre-recorded.
it, so
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Probably don't want to do it at 3 a.m, but if you did, I'm awake. You probably aren't, but we'll set you up with a cup
We'll
of
figure it
coffee
out.
and
Yeah.
some tape on your eyes.
Figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
BJ, you want to play something? But man,
Cool.
good to be back. Good to
be
have you
back.
back in studio with me.
Yes, it's been too long. It's like
It was
only
one
it only
week.
took 1 week, but
Yeah.
it was like, wow.
It just felt bad. But yeah, join us next week
Yes.
for Freeway Jam joining us on here.
Yeah.
Ought to be awesome.
Yeah.
And
All right.
we'll see you later.
Take care.